Well, good morning. It is Thursday, February 7th, 2019, and you have reached Rise and Grind 24/7. And there's Jenna.
Hey, good morning and happy Thursday. What's up, Herb? How are you today?
I'm well. I'm well. We're enjoying the beautiful weather like everybody else
Oh,
up
gorgeous.
and down the eastern seaboard. It's just unbelievable for
Here
February.
too. Here
But
too. Here too.
huh?
Here also.
Oh,
Gorgeous
oh,
weather. I mean,
oh!
like beyond gorgeous. Like I think it's 70 today. I think it reached high 68. Listen,
Wow!
I'm not going to complain because I'm walking around with a tank top. You know what I'm saying? It's like hello. Can it
Wow!
get any better? I know.
I
Gorgeous
know.
out.
I had my shorts on yesterday, and then
Yeah, I saw a lot of people with shorts, and I'm like,
yeah,
wow, at the track, a lot of biker shorts came out. So, listen,
yeah,
if you wanted to be fit early this year, you did good.
it's true. Yeah,
No
very
hiding.
true. Yep.
So what
All
else?
right.
What else is
So
going on?
we're here. It's a Thursday. People are joining us, and they've reached the past the midway point of the week, and
Mm-hmm.
of course we here on Rise and Grind 24/7 think every day special. So the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it just doesn't matter to us. But
Absolutely.
today is Thursday, and all of a sudden, I just had in my mind the old Mickey Mouse Club, and you know what? There's going to be a special guest. But remember, remember that? If I'm
Are we
showing my
having a
age.
special guest? No.
No, I'm showing my age. Uh,
I
if you
didn't watch the Mickey Mouse Club because, yeah,
well,
remember,
they showed the reruns of the old 50 ones when I was a kid.
okay, well, I don't remember them at all, but
Yeah,
I know of
I
them.
didn't do the Britney Spears thing or anything like that when they were on.
I think their Disney Channel, I probably tuned into that one because I had small kids at a young age.
Yeah,
So
I
I
usually
probably
left
did.
the room.
The worst was Teletubbies. The
Oh my
worst was
god! Oh
Teletubbies.
my
I don't know.
god!
My kids were big Sesame Street fans, and so
My girls were Barney.
oh my God, Barney. I
Oh,
remember 1998, my daughter was born, and Barney was the big thing. And
huge,
wow, yeah,
huge.
huge, huge. But at least it was fun to watch, too.
Yeah, yeah, and I would go. I remember I would go to work and the Barney songs are in my head. I'm like, oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah. I love you.
Yeah,
You love me.
yeah, okay,
I
that's
remember
enough.
that whole
We
thing.
don't want to lose people. That's enough. All right,
Hey, I win awards for my singing. I'm like,
I'm just talking about Barney.
cats are killing. Cats are dying when you sing. Okay.
I'm just talking about Barney. All righty. So,
We should
any
have a karaoke version of this show. You'll see how many hits we get. You could
yeah,
dance. I'll sing. Don't worry about it.
okay. So,
So happy
anything on your
Thursday.
mind today, New York Jenna?
Hmm. There's always something floating around. Um, you know, life is funny. You wake up and you think your day is gonna go one way, and then it starts taking a detour. And it really depends on how you react to it versus how you, I guess, act to it.
Mm,
Because
mm,
when you wake up in the morning, you can always have a choice as to how you're going to feel. So a lot of times I'll put up a post like, good morning, wake up. And I can see the people that are up and the people that have a positive mind,
mm.
in my social circle, right? In Facebook or Instagram. And then other times I could sense when I open up the Facebook that, oh, wow, there's a lot of negative energy on this
You do.
Facebook.
You can sense
You
that negative
can,
energy. You can.
absolutely. It's like a vibe you get, right?
Yeah.
And then you start scrolling down your feed and you see more of it. And you're like, all right, well, this is not really where I want my day to go. So I log off and I read.
Yeah.
So I've been reading a lot. The book that I finished was Relentless, which is taking yourself from good to great. And, personal development, I can't stress this enough. It really changes you from the inside out. So
Mm,
if you're somebody who is struggling with relationships, if you're someone who's struggling at work, if you're someone who's struggling paying bills, whatever you're struggling with, you have to look at it from the inside out. Stop blaming your circumstances, the people around you, your mother, your upbringing. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. It doesn't.
can't
You know,
change it.
you have to really, exactly, you can't change the past. Like if you had a magic pill, let's put it out there. I have a red pill and a blue pill. And the red pill allows you to go back and fix all your mistakes. And the blue pill hands you $1 billion. Exactly. Like Dr. Evil. $100 billion. Okay, but in this case, 1 billion, because that's a little more attainable. Which would you choose? Monty? Door number 1 or door number 2?
It's a tough choice there. Really is, because you really want to change the past. You want to be like Marty and go back and try to change stuff. But nothing will, even if we went back to change something, there's no guarantees that it would work out well to begin with.
But choose one. You can only choose one. So don't dance around the topic.
I'm rambling.
Yeah.
I want the pill that will give me a great future.
Red or blue? Don't be vague. Don't be riddles. Don't bullshit a bullshitter. Red or blue? You have a choice.
Now, red's
going to be you going back in time and changing all the things you messed up on. And blue pill is you're handed $1 billion.
$1 billion.
Right. Which would you choose? And this is like taking 10 minutes to get one answer. Can you imagine?
I know. I'm just being silly. I'm being silly.
Can you imagine if I asked him something serious? So funny.
I know, huh? No, I would take the $1 billion and run. Definitely.
And why?
Like I said, there's no guarantees, and even if you tried to change the past, it would work. But definitely, and I wouldn't want to anyways, because I love my daughters and things like that. Mm-hmm. But definitely, I would. I'd want the Mundo de Dinero to help with the now and the future and use it for good.
Okay, so you would choose pill. Blue. Thank God. Wow. That took like the whole show. We had a red pill and a blue pill. Okay. Well, for me, it's a clear-cut choice. It's the blue pill. Because for me, there's no sense in going back to change anything. Who you are today is a combination of who you were yesterday and who you are evolving to today. So for me, going backwards would defeat the purpose of you growing at this point in time.
Very true. Well said. Well said.
Yeah. Now the blue pill makes sense to me, partly because what you said is correct. You want to use it for good, right? Mm-hmm. But also it allows you to take that money and use it with the newfound knowledge, the newfound development that you have for yourself. Yes. So you create a better future for yourself, for your children, for your legacy.
And our eyes also will be looking who we can impact with it.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
What and the most bang for the buck would be what organization can you impact with it, and things like that. But that's how I would look at it. But I also would, take care of your family and all that, and but also put it in places where it could grow. And
mm-hmm. Absolutely. I know there's a little tough question, but I always think that when I ask the question, I'm a little more direct. I know you put a lot of thought into your answers, so I appreciate this. I don't want you to think I was mocking you, but boy, oh boy, I had a toothache trying to pull that answer out.
I'm a guy.
Oh man, and you should be very clear cut. Guys are very clear cut. They're not like fluffy.
I'm not like the normal guy. I guess I'm like the normal guy. I've been told that I bring more to the guy plate than other guys, but
you bring more to the guy plate.
To the guy plate than other normal guys. I think more. I ponder more into things than usually the normal.
Well, that's more of a woman thing then, not a guy thing.
Well, I'm not a woman though.
No, what I'm saying is the thinking part is more of the libido of a woman, right? Because women think and overthink everything. So you'd say I bring a little more.
I would bring a little more
different twist to the guy plate. There you go.
Different twist. There you go.
That I can accept. Like even myself, I'm not your typical, female.
No, you're not.
I bring everything to the female because I think like a guy sometimes. I really do. It's very transactional. No. It's very black and white. You ask me a question, boom, bada bing, bada boom. There's your answer. Get away from me now.
There you go.
But there are people who will analyze everything to death.
Oh, I met those people. I met them.
Those people, they can't. My dog is like crazy.
I was gonna say, what the heck was that?
Because you know this, he's a 15, almost 16-year-old Shih Tzu, and he's got the black Chanel, the black nose, and so when he wakes up, sometimes he has trouble breathing. He doesn't have a problem with breathing, but just the nasal. Sometimes he's got to breathe through, so he'll do that just to clear his. And
You know what that noise? You know what that noise was? If he could talk, you know what that noise was?
No.
He's saying, "Oh man, Mommy's on with that guy again on the computer."
It just amazes me how dogs can self-medicate themselves, kind of way. Like he looks like, I take him to the park, and he runs with the other two puppies. The other two puppies are only a couple of years old. He holds his own. They're all very trim. I mean, you've seen pictures online with them, and they all have their personalities. And I talk to them every morning. And one thing that I love doing is talking to animals and plants. People think I'm nuts, but I do. And when I used to have fish, I used to talk to the fish.
No.
And the reason being is that everything in life requires communication. Anything valuable in life requires communication. So if you have a plant in your room and you don't talk to it, it will die faster.
Very true.
It's not just getting your oxygen or whatever you're breathing out, but it actually understands your voice. And it kind of just grows with, if you're positive. I had a bird. It was one of those macaw, I guess, that talked. It had 101 phrases. It wasn't my bird. It was one of my partners in business. But I was pretty much with the bird all day long, because the bird got stressed out in my partner's home. Got stressed out. People don't realize this. Birds are messy. They're dirty birds. People don't realize how much work a bird is. But they're the most beautiful creatures, the ones that talk. There's different ones that talk. This was like one of those rare macaw birds. I think 101 or 1,001 different sayings, okay? So when you walked in the room, it's like, hello, 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 like that, like so cute. And then when you say hello back, it's like, how are you? How are you? Like every time, like just like knew a few catchphrases. So one day I was in the office with this bird, and I started noticing that it was picking its feathers and just kind of like plucking its feathers and flinging them. And I was like, oh my God.
A sign of stress, right?
Yes. And I'm like, oh my God, this bird is totally stressed out, because I guess where it came from, there was a lot of screaming and a lot of noise. Like in my house, it's like a library. I have had 3 kids, 3 puppies. There's no screaming. There's no, none of that. And people are like, how do you maintain such composure? And you have these mild, my kids are great. I mean, they're just so mild-mannered. Your dogs are great. They're not yippy. They hear you talking right now. They're not yippy for your attention. When the doorbell rings, they'll bark like, hello, somebody's here, and then they'll go away. They won't sit there and ankle bite and stuff like that. But the point that I was getting about the bird was that I'm very in tune to a lot of how animals, how things create and recreate themselves. So if a plant is withering and it has no sunlight and it's dying, you can revive that plant by putting it into the sunlight, talking to it, clipping a little bit of the brown, and I'm not a green thumb person. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. Although I have a passion for farm to table. Farm to table.
Yep. Okay.
I love those restaurants that are out there now. There's a few of them by me where
I
they
agree.
grow.
I agree. Yeah.
They grow their own tomatoes. It's everything is so clean, and there is a depletion of the soil. So you can't just put in regular soil. You have to treat the soil in order to grow your own vegetables. Years ago, my mom had a beautiful vegetable garden.
Everybody did. Everybody did.
It's not the same. The environment and what we're living in today, you have to treat that soil. So anyway, we took the bird out, and I left them in the cage, and I put them outside. Do you know that bird not only just was almost like dancing, but it was so happy. And it got me thinking about what we had another show about, the caterpillar versus the moth. And remember, the caterpillar, when it goes into a chrysalis stage, it spins its gold, and then in the light it becomes that butterfly, right? It takes a while, but it starts shedding its skin. But what happens to that caterpillar when it goes to someplace dark and gloomy and depressing? Do you know what happens to that caterpillar? It actually develops a cocoon around itself, and it's even darker and deeper, and it becomes a moth. A moth. So people don't realize that same caterpillar that is out there and about.
So it could either be a butterfly or a moth.
It either becomes a butterfly, it morphs into either a butterfly or a moth, depending on its environment.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, so if a caterpillar sheds its skin 5 times and it ends up someplace, because remember, they're always on the go, right? If they're somewhere on a tree branch, or if they're somewhere in the ground, you don't see the caterpillar when it's morphing. Just like people, you don't see people when they're morphing. You only see the outside, right? But inside, they're actually developing themselves. Some people, as they get older, they become more cocoonish, right? They withdraw. They go into a deep, dark spot. And I wouldn't say that they're ugly like a moth. A moth is ugly, right, compared to the butterfly. But they don't know what to contribute because they're just so alone. And then you have other people that their only job is like the butterfly, to make more butterflies. So they shed a lot of happiness. And, people are attracted to those who are really positive. If you're negative, forget about it. And if I see a neighbor that's negative, I'll be like, hey, and I'll keep walking. Like, I don't want to deal with that, Sometimes years ago, you used to get the paper. We don't get the paper delivered anymore.
No one gets the paper delivered anymore.
I know. Gone are the days of the paper.
If you have a newspaper company, you will have a dinosaur, because
nobody comes around anymore.
No one does. No one does a newspaper anymore. It's all online. So. And
listen, you can go to Dunkin' Donuts, and you can get the newspaper there and read it, and then just put it back.
Or Starbucks. I've read the newspaper at Starbucks before.
Exactly. At Starbucks, the same thing. And then, you know what? I don't even take it with me. I just leave it there for the next person. I just leave it right on the chair, and then somebody else comes along and But yeah, so that's what I was thinking about before, that, when you put people in different places, or when they put themselves in different places, they actually morph into something or someone that they often don't recognize. So be sure, if you're that person that is, going through a type of depression, going through a type of turmoil, that you address it. And, there's always someone to talk to. Like I love all types of music. So I do listen to a lot of different types of rap. And that's just one genre. I mean, I'm avid as a ZZ Top. I like everything in between, as long as it's good music. And Logic was one of those that had that suicidal hotline song. And, it really hit home to a lot of people, because he was advertising the number to the suicide hotline. A lot of people were reaching out. And it got me thinking, how many people are fighting battles that we don't see?
Oh, a lot. I agree. I mean, there's people that even are watching us today that are, they need that motivation and that positivity that they can't get anywhere else. Because they've surrounded themselves with so much negativity and being in depression. They don't know how to get out, but there is a way out. It is, and it's all about reaching out, and it's all about changing your circle. And getting into the more of the positive, happy place. Is it easy? No, but it's necessary. And definitely, I hope that we are here to help that person or persons.
Absolutely.
That can see that life has so much to offer. And it's just, if you're in, and you have said it so many times, Jenna, if you're in the wrong circle, it will bring you down. And you got to surround yourself with people and friends that will enhance your life. And so I encourage people today to look for those people, look for those places that will enhance your life.
Absolutely. Well said. Well said. And just know that, The Secret, which has been out for a while now, it's not 100% accurate, but it talks about the law of attraction and the law of association. So the law of attraction is if you focus on negativity and you focus on problems, you're just inviting more of them. And if you flip the switch and you focus more on opportunities and you focus more on the good things that can happen in your life, then more good will be coming your way. More blessings will come your way. And those blessings might not be wrapped up in a bow where you can automatically identify them. But just know that those blessings are there for a reason. Everything in life is a blessing or a lesson. Every person in life is a blessing or a lesson. So the law of association is you are the 5 people you hang out with. Think about it. And if you're not happy with your circle, it's okay. Spend some time alone so you can figure out a little bit about yourself and why you're attracting these kind of people into your circle. Because
that alone time is so necessary.
Absolutely. Maybe you're attracting those people because they bring out something in you that you're not aware of. That's
right. And you will find the tribe that you belong to. The people that over time, all of a sudden you'll look back and say, wow, what a difference, because I hung around or found this person, that person, this place. And you'll see that, where you were before is because of the surroundings. And you need to branch out and find people, find places, find organizations that will bring you up and not down.
Awesome. And when I hear tribe, I think of my younger self. I always needed a tribe. But now I'm good with a squad.
There you go.
I'm good with a squad. I'd rather have less people in my immediate social circle than to have a tribe. I love tribes, don't get me wrong. And if you have a tribe, love your tribe. I belong to a tribe of people that have the same commonality as I do. But my immediate people, like my confidants, I always used to say before Uber, who did you used to call to take you to the airport?
True.
From the airport?
Or help you move.
Or help you move, right. So I've said that before, those are the people that you can count on your left hand, right?
Yes.
So, and don't be afraid to outgrow those who had a chance to grow with you.
Yes, you are not being a bad person if you're outgrowing them. I mean, that's not to say that you keep, to be mean with them or nasty with them. No, because they were part of your life. But know that you are outgrowing them, and there's people that are like-minded with you that want to get together, want to share life together, and so you'll find those people. Right now people are saying, I don't know those people yet. No, you don't, but you'll find those people, and you'll know it when you do. And just allow but the most important thing that Jenna just said is, don't be afraid to be by yourself and really digest who you are. And then when you start to realize, okay, I'm not that bad of a person, I do want this, I do want that, then you move forward.
And when you find like-minded people, it's good to surround yourself with those people and not to build that wall against them, because sometimes we tend to criticize those that are very similar to ours. Like, in other words, I'm quick to judge someone that I feel is something like me, let's just say. Sometimes when we call, in other words, you ever notice when you call someone out on something, it's like a reflection of your mirror. It's like you see it in them, because very often it's probably inside you, right? So that's one thing in personal development that I'm trying to get better at. In other words, if I say someone, oh, look at that person, they have such an ego, and maybe I have the ego, maybe I'm pointing out, oh my God, that person is whatever. And maybe that's the reflection that I'm seeing in me. Because very often when you see something in someone else, it's often portrayed within you. And maybe you don't like that about yourself. So you're criticizing that person on it. Exactly. So I've become very, very aware of that. And when you meet like-minded individuals, it's okay to disagree with them. Maybe there's stuff inside
you. We disagree.
All the time. I want to kill her, but he wants to kill me sometimes. Yeah, but you know what, though? We learn from each other because we're not exactly the same. Sometimes if you're exactly the same, what are you learning? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I had read a quote, and I guess
We'll end with this. We'll end with your quote.
Right. I was going to say, I don't know if this is appropriate to end this way, but it's pretty cool. There's actually two of them. The first one is that when you know what you bring to the table, you're not afraid to dine alone. So that one is when you have to be that alone time, which Herb just said so eloquently. Take some time to be alone. That's where I say to myself, okay, you know what? I know what I bring to the table, so I'm not afraid to dine alone. Okay. The second one is that build a longer table, not a taller fence.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
And so that hits home with me because oftentimes we meet people that maybe are not exactly like us, and we're quick to negate it and say, oh, you know what? And I'm not talking about building a longer table with negative people. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? But instead of worrying about, isolating yourself and building a taller fence, build a longer table. Invite people to your circle so that this way you can start changing your environment a little bit with the more positive people. If let's say you have negative people, or if you have people that are you just can't relate to them anymore. I'll tell you, there are times where I've gone to places and I'm like, wow, I can't relate anymore. And you wind up sitting there talking to yourself, right? And we talked about the committee inside your head sometimes, and you're sitting and you're taken aback. You're like, oh yeah, this is not high school anymore. I don't know these people anymore. And they're nice people, don't get me wrong. We often find them at class reunions. We find them in the street or in our hometowns when we go visit or whatever, right? I know for me, I bump into people all the time and I have a 5-minute conversation. I'm like, oh yeah, well, that was interesting. And you always say, yeah, we got to meet up. We got to do lunch. We got to do coffee. And then you're just like, we are never going to do coffee.
It's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen because we're all so busy. Yeah. And at the same time, we're all growing. And this is okay. So this is Happy Thursday. Go out there and manifest your best day today.
That's right. This is the first day. This is the first day of finding your tribe.
Yes, or your squad.
Or your squad, yeah, exactly.
That longer table.
Longer table.
And make it happen, for yourself. If you're not happy with you, you're not going to attract people into your circle that's going to make you happy. Exactly. So the first thing is self-love. So today's episode is all about finding your tribe, your squad, but it all begins with you. So if you have to dine alone, if you have to spend some alone time, I know when I get off these Zooms, I go right to my writing and reading and, kind of manifesting what I want my day and planning my day because it's still early enough.
Exactly.
What do you do? Do you wake up? And what do you do to add value to your day? So on that note, we'll talk about more tomorrow. So have a happy Thursday. And
tomorrow's Friday, and it's Sassy Friday. Who knows what's going to happen?
Sassy or saucy?
Saucy. I'm sorry, saucy.
Because I'm the sassy one. You're the saucy one.
Saucy Friday tomorrow. So you'll have to tune in and find out what we talk about tomorrow. Could be a little edgy, but
we like edgy.
All righty. Thank you. Thank you, Jenna.
Yes, thank you, and have a great. Everybody, listen. Let's finish off. Wake up, rise and grind, kick ass, and have a banging day. And we'll see you guys tomorrow here. Bye.
Bye.